Okay, so I found this kind of topic a little bit interesting. Hopefully you will too. We're talking today about the KWB model in the Helix, which is Ben Adrian's design. It's actually based on the MXR Distortion Plus, which is a very much copied pedal, which was designed sort of the end of the 70s and based on some kind of simple fuzz boxes, apparently according to Nicholas Kula, made with small amounts of parts, 18, and kind of the key part of it is that you've got these two diodes, push and pull diodes, creating some clipping. The MXR itself used to use two germanium diodes, I believe, so the MXR Distortion Plus, whereas I think the DOD 250, they used various bits over time. I think one of the reissues used an LED clipping section, and also there's some that used the silicon clipping. But anyway, the KWB is Ben Adrian's design, based on a friend of his apparently had 3 Distortion Plus pedals, and one of them he liked the sound of better than the others, and that one happened to have a broken diode in it, so that's the story behind it. So anyway, before we get into that, the top secret OD is the DOD OD250 in the Helix, and this is a relatively similar pedal. I think some of the component values are different, but if you have them both set to germanium, I think you should get somewhat similar sound. So here's the top secret OD. So I've got the gain a bit higher on the KWB to try and get closer. The top secret OD seems to have a bit more gain. But I think you agree they're sort of within the same family for sure. So what have we got going on here? So apparently germanium is like the warmest of the clipping options. Then as you go up, you've got silicon, which is slightly louder. So just go between the two again. So I think a bit more clipping. A bit more bass, I think. So yeah, I think a bit more bass and a little bit more level coming out of it, a bit more output, and then LED should have more output still. I think you could probably hear there that gradually you're getting a bit less level. So, and then the loudest and clearest of all will be with no clipping diodes, and probably hear that's clipping the thing now. So if we take the level, so you could opt for no clipping diodes for like a more transparent kind of drive. Or the LED options, I think. And obviously you can have combinations of both with this particular model. So even with the gain all the way up into a clean amp, we get some cool things happening. Now, you've also got an active bass and treble control. So you can have more bass if you want to. Traditional kind of treble. You want to darken things up. And then beyond the level control, you've actually got this really cool thing here. So this is an asymmetrical clipping option. I think this was designed to mimic the broken diode. So as we crank this all the way up, this is the most asymmetrical. I think as you crank that up, I think it gets to be a bit more tube screamerish. So I'll just go between the two. So I really like the effect of that asymmetry. So consider, I really like that cranked. I think it also brings out the mids a bit. So just to summarize, I think that's a really versatile little pedal, really useful. So I really like the LED options. Your germanium is probably the closest that you're going to get to that classic MXR Distortion Plus sound. But LED is kind of a bit clearer, and you know, clearest and cleanest is the no clipping diodes. And then consider messing around with this asymmetry clipping option to mimic the sound of kind of breaking diodes and, you know, asymmetrical clipping. A really cool pedal based on Ben Adrian's real kind of work in the circuit and pedalboard world, so it's kind of cool. Check that one out. That's the KWB model based on Ben Adrian's work with the MXR Distortion Plus. Super cool stuff. Catch you in another video soon. Cheers.